We are live. We are live. We are live. What's up, Spreaker? Shouts out to YouTube, Facebook, wherever you are checking us out. Chat is open. Man, we about to kick it, family. Come on in, come on in. I'm trying to wait for the chats to come in. When you come in, man, announce yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you enter somebody's house, you gotta be like, yo, I'm here. Let me know you in the house. Let me know you in the house. I'm gonna shut this chat down. I'm gonna start a new one. Let's go and get the chat up and popping. And y'all know what it is. First up, I want to welcome you to the congregation of the mighty. This is Giami Journey Media. Girl, you sound good tonight. This is a Heart of a Silver production, and of course, you know this is Tribal Quotes. Strides. Oh yeah, family, welcome to Giami Journey. I am your host, Brother Hatim, and we are going to do it. We're going to dive into Giami Journey Workbook Tribal Quotes. I know y'all like, Brother Hatim, that's because I use my materials. You know what I'm saying? Sitting up here, I'm thinking constantly. I'm trying to figure out these proverbs. I'm trying to sneak them. I'm figure them out. Oh my God! So now I got two. They done blocked me out of my own shit. I don't understand. But it's cool. It is what it is. I gotta go on and remember all. Am I the only one that I got all these goddamn codes I gotta remember all the time. I feel like I'm behind enemy lines. Maybe that is because I am behind enemy lines. Have you ever considered that you are behind enemy lines? Have you ever considered that? That you are behind enemy lines. Do you think, am I the only one? Just have a group must have a Hootsuite as an app on Facebook. What in the fuck are they talking about? I don't understand. I don't even care. All right, cool. Dismiss. Snooze. Do whatever the hell you want to do. All right, we are up on Facebook. We are up. No. Oh, okay. Yeah, we up on Facebook. We up on YouTube. We up on Periscope. We up on Stream.me. Family, I want to welcome you. And, of course, we're streaming live on Spreaker right now. I want to thank everybody that is tuning in. We got, it looked like Brother Quasey on the line. We got Brother Quasey. Is this Brother Quasey on the line?
Yes, sir.
All right. I think somebody else was on, but they hung up. I guess my intro music took too long or was too loud or some shit. I don't know. But hey, family, it's going good over here. I'm making it through the day. Example that I had of Ujamaa today. Cooperative economics. Oh, well, I know y'all don't, a lot of times because people only equate economics with money, but I look at it as resources. I had a young sister, Sister Carla, took charge and started drilling today. I didn't know she could do that, so she started drilling some of the brothers today. Yeah, that was my example. I should have took a picture, but I was in writing mode because I had to put some stuff together, and I know this is gonna lead to me having to put something else together, and that's gonna have to lead to me putting something else together. And one day I will write all this shit in my memoirs. You know what I'm saying? See, you only could do memoirs when you out here doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Quasey, when we gonna read your memoirs, my brother?
I need to start writing them shits. I've been writing over the years, but I don't write consistently enough. It'd be a bunch of stuff that be happening in my life that be worth talking about or worth writing about, I guess, that never got written down.
Right, but the stuff that you have written down, like, one of the things that I be suggesting to people is start a blog. Even if nobody read it, it's down, and you can have people with your in your family with the address, so and it's free, and it'll stay up as long as that network stay up. You know what I'm saying? And then whenever you feel like it, write something down, and then a few years from now, after you compile enough, you just pull it all together and call it a book. You know what I'm saying? It's just the book. You don't have to sit down and directly write it. You can let the book write itself by all of the material that you put together. So I don't want people to feel pressed. I don't want people to feel. But those of us in Giami Journey, all of us owe the nation a book. Because we are writing we are writing for our legacy. And if we don't leave stuff behind, how they gonna know what we did? You know what I'm saying? With all of this pollution on the internet, all this pollution around, how they gonna know unless we leave our image? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm still preparing for those billions that's supposed to be coming to the internet from around the world. Maybe we might be able to get a few micro% or some shit like that. That's all we need. Giami Journey, I salute you. Those of you that's out hustling, family, we have reached, let me say that again, we have reached over 500 likes. I don't know exactly what that means, but shit, I'm gonna cheer that shit up. Now we're going for the next number in our exponential growth. From 500 to 1,000, from 1,000 to 2,000, from 2,000 to 4,000, from 4,000 to 8,000, from 8,000 to 16,000, from 16,000 to 32,000, from 32,000 to 64,000, from 64,000 to 128,000, from 128,000 to 256,000, from 256,000 we are going to go to 512,000, from 512,000 we're going to go up to 1,024,000, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. We're going to build up slowly but surely, because if it come fast, it don't last. But if it comes slow, it's good to go. And thinking of proverbs, here is the proverb of the day. Hold on. Class is in session. Give me my goddamn bell. Bell! Damn. Having all these mystical animals is hard, man. It's just, I mean, I might just need to go and get me a real bell, because that shit took too long. All right, Quasi, you ready for the proverbs of the day, my friend?
Let's get it.
Let me turn you up, because I want to make sure the people can hear you. All right, here we go. Day 47. It does not matter how slowly you go, so long as you do not stop. That's Confucius. If you're doing your best, you won't have any time to worry about failure. H. Jackson Brown, Jr. Do not mend your neighbor's fence before seeing to your own. Tanzania. Which one you want to start with? Or wait, better yet, if there's anybody out there in the chat, you know, wait, hold on. Oh, Sister Jackie, what's up? We got Libra Girl. How are you doing? Shekel Mac 10, big up to you as well. It's hanging good. And Sister Sharika's joining us from YouTube. So, man, it's growing, family. I'm trying to tell y'all, yo, keep the, hey, Daily Toasters, keep up the good work, like and share. So, you know, other people get in on these conversations. Let me know what y'all think about the Proverbs. And while I'm at it, Quasi, real quick, I want to go on and give me a second. I need to post up. Lines are open at 614-556-4535. That's right. And add your ancestors to our daily toasters list. Text names to. Why are you doing that, computer? You already know I got problems typing down. Tech. How in the hell? What in tarnation is... My computer is acting rebellious like Quasi's ass. What's going on? Toast name.
Me? Never.
I just want to add your ancestors to our daily toasters list. No, I ain't not toasters, it's toaster list. Text info to 614-556. Oh no. 614-300. Hey, whoever that is, turn your stuff down. Yep. Stop smoking weed before you come on my show. Calm down. Cut the background down. All right. Also, you get the black signal at 614-300-1875. You can put yourself on the list so that you know when we going up. Because every time before I go, I send it out through my superphone. I send out the black signal. I All right, so here we go. Somebody else is on the line. Somebody from 301, 301. How are you? And who is this? Uh-oh.
It's your sister Jackie. You know who it is.
I know who it is. Yeah. You ain't got that gun with the deep, sexy voice. I ain't even. Come on now. It's your sister Jackie. Come on, girl. All right, here we go. So, anybody out there or on the line, you can pick a number between 1 and 3, right? And I'm going to see if I can predict it before you call it so that we can see which proverb we're going to start with first.
You need to start with this news first.
The news? What news? You know that's your job. That's not my job. My job, What's the news?
Yeah.
Turn that down in the background, girl. Turn that down in the background.
I don't have to turn you down.
Yeah, you got to turn it down. You can hear us over the phone.
But it's a major delay.
Oh, okay. You better get some headphones,
I do have my headphones on. But anyway, I was an article that interested me today along the lines of Rachel Dolezal. A white theater teacher dubs himself a born-again African after pocketing thousands of arts funding intended for people of color.
Wait, stop. Rachel Dolezal did what?
No. I said it's along the lines of Rachel Dolezal.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
No, the white guy, he dubs himself as a born-again African. That's the headline, after pocketing thousands in arts funding intended for people of color.
Did he use he used his DNA to show that he had 1% African in him or some shit like that?
Nah. He just self-proclaimed born-again African. And where my problem became was that the fact that the Arts Council of England, this is going on in England, I'm assuming, it's funded by the Arts Council of England, but the council said it was satisfied the director was eligible for the award because he'd identified as a mixed race person for so long, but acknowledged Lennon's case was an unusual one. But yet and still, they didn't find a reason to take it from him. That's where I have a problem, because this is something that they are trying to make a reality called transracial.
Transracial. You can be whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can be whatever you want as long as you white.
I guess so. You can be a shapeshifter if you want to.
Only
but
if
my
you're
problem
white.
My problem where it becomes serious is that the issue is that there's going to be certain vehicles for minorities, or not minorities, for African Americans specifically, like, I don't know, let's say affirmative action, which that's for, all minorities, but also those things that are specifically for black people like this, where they're going to be able to take those resources. Just like now they're offering some white students free tuition to go to HBCU.
No, they're not. Stop playing.
I'm not playing. Because if a white person attends HBCUs, they open up the floodgates on support for that. So you're talking about destabilizing these set-asides that aren't similar. I mean, they are trying to give us some things that are in the, I guess I want to say, resemblance of reparations. But now even that can't take place through foundations and different organizations and government set-asides if this thing becomes a real thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this transracial bullshit is going to really cut into some situations for young black folks that, are very talented, and this dude, people like him can step in and take it. And this dude is, by all intent and purposes, he's full 100% Irish. both parents Irish. I mean, where did they pull the? But I do have to say, when you look at him outside of the blue eyes, he do look like a brother that could be passing. I don't know if you have seen the article or the post on my page. You can see it there. There's a picture of him there, but you know. He said that he had been teased in, I guess, high school and middle school as well, that they always thought he was biracial, so he went with that. The only thing I can think is his mama been stepping out, or he done, you know, he got some ancestry, them Irish, they've been mixing up with black folks, so, you know.
Hey, you don't have to be telling those dirty little secrets. So, family, you heard the news. Jackie dropped the news on us. We got this transracial shit going on and the threat to your children's future because people are going to be trying to edge in on what's owed to you. So now it's time for us. You got to stand up or you're going to lose it to these transracials that want to be black. And we got so many. I mean, I'll be dealing with people. I'll be like, damn, I'll be like, they don't even want to be black. They just want to, you know, I don't know. So we got white folks taking money that's supposed to be given to black folks. We got black folks.
Right, and if you see something like this start happening across the board, like what these people are saying, at the Arts Council of England, if, you know, a lot of folks, organizations start saying, oh, well, you know, just look the other way, you know, it's all right, you know, he looked like he could be, so it's good, we ain't gonna make a big deal out, let him keep the money. If that happens across the board, we really messed up.
I mean, who you telling? I mean, but you know, and it's like, yo, because we already know, because like, you know, Jackie, if we think back, you know, I ain't gonna say college was affordable, but the prices of schools, the prices of everything has skyrocketed. And if we continue on that if we continue on that course, excuse the lips, right? Couldn't get the word out. If we continue on
the trajectory, I got you.
Right. Like you said, it's gonna be, you know, because a lot of people, it's funny now. But it won't be funny when people is actually eating off your plate. We got to always understand that people have always taken advantage of things that were for us, and we have allowed it. We have sat back. We have been quiet. We done giggled with them, and you know what I'm saying? In fact, in many cases, we helped them. Oh, he's an honorary brother. And we need to cut that shit out. We need to cut that shit out. We need to circle the wagons. You know what I'm saying? And be very clear about who is us. Right? In England, they got their issues, but if it's starting over there, you know it's going to start over here. Actually, it happened with Rachel, as you brought out, Rachel Dolezal. And so now we got these white boys or white people, some of them going to come over on our side and not trying to really be allies, but trying to be culture vultures. And you know what vultures do. You know what I'm saying? They feast off the dead bodies. So we can't allow that to happen. So we got to keep our eyes open.
And so since I'm not trying to take over your show, I'm going to loop all of what you just said around to the proverb, fix your own gate. Some folks better get to fixing their gates.
Well, hold on. Did she just take my goddamn job? Am I now unemployed? Crazy, did you hear that smooth shit? Did you hear that? That was some smooth, straight, that's that old Detroit slickster shit. She flipped it all the way around. God damn.
See, that's why I'll be coming on your show. You know, I ain't trying to blow up your spot.
No, I need you to blow up my spot because the issue is I need new stuff because a lot of times, I mean, like I said, I be so swamped with some of this shit sometimes. I mean, just like personal issues with other people's lives and stuff that I don't have time to be going through that. And right now, I'm in a YouTube book phase right now, so I'm on that, and I'm not on the news to catch stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So
I got you.
And so we're gonna start with that. So she brought out that story, and it says, "Do not mend your neighbor's fence before seeing to your own." And anybody want to go first? I'm looking in the chat. I'm not seeing anything. The first proverb we're gonna cover, because Sister Jackie brought it around so smoothly. Do not mend your neighbor's fence before seeing to your own. Anybody else got any comments on that? I want y'all to think about that. And I want you to think about what she's saying. Because one of the things that I honestly believe that we as black people, one of the issues that we have is that we have a Jesus complex, a sacrificial lamb complex, where we don't mind throwing what's ours on the table to be sacrificed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about waiting for Jesus. It's like many of us act as if we are, and we're willing to bear the cross of everybody else before we handle our business in our homes, before we mend our own fences, because we got some fences that's falling the fuck down, and we just like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's for the world. And we got people at the border of the goddamn gates, that the gates was built to hold people out. They are able to just come in and to prey on us. And I honestly think that, this is some real wisdom here. You know what I'm saying? We go out and we try to fix their fences and our shit falling apart. We go out and we fix their business and our shit falling apart. We go out and fix their social systems and our shit is falling apart. We go out and fix their schools and our shit is falling apart. You know what I'm saying? We're doing all of this outward work on others, rather than just making sure we fix our fence. Like, our fence is black. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, we had a fence of blackness, right? Those that was born from the tragedy that happened over here, from the enslaved people that was here, from the captive people that was here. We have a distinctive claim. We have a distinctive identity that many of us try to jump out and help others before we make sure we got what we need. And it's like, it's enough of this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just going to say that the whole thing that I'm speaking on as far as this transracial bullshit, that means that if we don't start fortifying our communities and fortifying our own organizations, like the stuff that you're very actively doing, this will affect us immensely. We have to realize, and we need to not depend on these set asides. We have to start setting aside for ourselves.
Exactly. Well, I'm one that says we got to have a multi-pronged strategy. We got to do for ourselves, but we got to get what we owe. Because I'm not letting these motherfuckers walk away with shit. You know what I'm saying? But we still need to. Right. We got to hit it from both and all angles, because those are those are two angles in the whole 360 degrees that we got to cover. You know what I'm saying? And one's not routed in the other. You know what I'm saying? And the whole point is that we have to be wise enough to have crews working on one thing and others working on another. We can have fake arguments like the Republicans and the Democrats. You know what I'm saying? Long as we getting what we need, because first off, we give away shit. We like, for example, we allow them to lump us into people of color before we have fixed the fence of blackness. You know what I'm saying? So now we are melding into all these other groups and all these other groups' issues without totally dealing with what's going on with us. And that's very dangerous. That's very unhealthy. And our children see that. And it's like, and it's almost like they expect nothing from us. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to inspire young people to look at our elders and be like, where's my motherfucking inheritance? You know what I'm saying? What are you going? You can't die right now. You still got work to do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's because I'm listening to Outliers, and he says something along the lines that a lot of the failures that we see, because and I don't know if anybody read Outliers. He's going through and he's disproving the idea that we believe about success, about how it's individual and how and he's showing how everybody has certain things behind them to build up the success. And one of the things that he mentioned that is very strong in success or failure is the culture that an individual come from. So if there is stuff going on with a group of people, we have to look at the culture and start making repairs within the culture so that we could go to the next level. And the example that he used of that is the Korean airline.
Wait. You talking about author Malcolm Gladwell?
Oh yeah. The black man,
okay.
the black man from Canada.
You might want to mention that in case people haven't read it.
She says, stop skinning and grinning in the white people face and frowning in your people face on disgust or fear. Ooh, go ahead, Miss Sharika. You know what I'm saying? And we got we in building our fence, in repairing our fence, that will give us the ability, that cultural fence. You know what I'm saying? And the pillars of that, because every fence need poles in them to hold them down. And one of the things is that we got in our language here in Columbus is those cultural stabilizing holidays. And we got that from Sister Jackie. And we got to give her a round of applause because that statement came from her. I own it now, though, goddammit. This will be the last time that I will shout her out about that shit.
Give me props on that.
Oh man, that shit. Listen, you don't understand how cold-blooded that shit is. I mean, maybe you do, but that shit was cold-blooded. When you said cultural stabilizing, I said, damn, that is how people stabilize their culture through their holidays, because it forces them to look back to where they were and how they got to where they are now. And we don't do enough of that, right? I mean, it's almost like we want to kick dust on where we were. We are ashamed of the fact that some of our people came through slavery. You know what I'm saying? We're ashamed of it. You know what I'm saying? We think that it gives us a badge of a loser. You know what I'm saying? And we would be losers if the war was over. But the war is not over. We are fighting a generational battle, and people don't understand that. So it's almost like, boom. So we have to be reminded about our past and learn to draw inspiration and motivation from that past. Because if we were able to sustain what we sustained back then this ain't shit. This is nothing. You know what I'm saying? I get to complain about the world in a house with heat and air conditioning and shit. You know what I'm saying? I get to go to work in a car. You know what I'm saying? So how in the fuck can I sit up here and think that I'm actually doing something with from the comfort of my home, when I have to look back and be like, damn, Marcus Garvey had a paper that had a circulation of damn near 1 million people. And there was no electronics like this. They distribute that shit by hand. And we sitting up here not looking at what we have, not looking at mending our culture, and even in some places replacing parts of the fence. You know what I'm saying? Because what don't work, we can get rid of. You know what I'm saying? We are in such a beautiful situation where we are able to create. We don't even, I don't think a lot of us even realize that we are on the threshold of greatness, because the culture that we lay out and that we develop now, from what we had and for what we need now, because we can't be so those cultural stuckers, those individuals that stuck in the old ways of doing shit. We got to update what we have. We have to update and be able to put stuff in it that will help the culture maintain and put in our children's mindset, yes, we did it this way. And you could do it this way, but you need to be looking for better ways to do it. So we don't have to be stuck. You know, Quasi, you still on the line or you hung up on me, man? What's going on?
He must have hung up.
I'm still here.
Okay, cool. You ain't got nothing to say about this?
I'm just listening, man.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for listening. So it said, do not mend your neighbor's fence before seeing to your own. You got anything else you want to go on that one, Sister Jack?
Yeah, that's one of the most prominent pieces of legislation in Detroit that's still on the books now after Mayor Coleman Young's death. Because of this statement here, he said that directly, I remember, he was on a TV and he was doing a news briefing about the Renaissance Center. This was before the Renaissance Center was built. He looked at the books and he saw that there was no black contractors on the job, and this was about to be the centerpiece of Detroit. He said, look here, white folks, if our roof is leaking, we gonna fix it. Look here, black folks, did you hear what I said to the white folks? Our roof is leaking. So this is how we gonna fix it. There's not gonna be anything built in the city of Detroit without at least 2 black contractors involved. Any major skyscrapers, anything that go on in that city has to have at least 1 to 2 black contractors on the job. And that's how the Renaissance Center was built, because they wanted to do it themselves, and this wasn't even their city. He wanted to have this milestone. He wanted to have that as his Obamacare. Renaissance Center is the centerpiece of Detroit, and his major accomplishment that stands in his name. It should be called the Mayor Coleman Young Center.
It's not too late.
Because that was major what he did, by making them include black contractors.
That's racist, Jackie. That's what we say. That's racist. Why you feel like that? We get uncomfortable when that's a slave mentality. Because think about it. No, man, I don't want to come in the front door. I don't know. No, don't. I go around the back. You know what I'm saying? And that goes to I can't remember the brother, but he wrote a book, Miseducation of Black Folks, where they talk about, that a person that's used to going to the back door, if there's not a back door there, he will build the back door so that he could go into the house rather than come in the front. When we start, go ahead. Go ahead.
I keep telling you, man, mention these authors if folks ain't read these books.
I can't remember the name. Carter G. Woodson. That's what you here for. I mean, I did a lot of reading. I got a lot of shit going through my mind. And in my early 20s, we smoked a whole lot of weed. So I'm just like, y'all lucky I'm functioning.
But look, that is the thing that we have to be building in our own homes and not letting somebody else, build our home and then, take our home after. We don't have any type of legacies. We don't have any inheritance, when that happens. And I think that Mayor Young was a visionary on that.
Oh man, who you tell? I mean, that's a beautiful concept, and the issue is because as black folks, we were in a sense moved away from working with our hands. We started, we fell for the social programming and started looking down on that shit, and I'm guilty of that myself. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize that till I was older, and I get in cars and shit, and didn't know how to do nothing. I moved away from my grandfather, so I would have to do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to do that. I would watch my Uncle Bookie go into the garage and build a goddamn car, and I watch it from a distance because I wasn't going in there. You smart. You ain't supposed to be doing that. Like, he wasn't intelligent for the shit that he was doing. Like, my grandfather wasn't intelligent. He was just a laborer or some shit like that. And this is the mind state that they got us at right now. So we start outsourcing all of our shit to other people rather than rather than mending our own fences. You know what I'm saying? We went out to start mending other people's fences. So now we got motherfuckers keeping books for other motherfuckers, and none of us really have. I ain't gonna say that. We got a lot of people out there with those skills, but we need to start building up databases for people with those skills that are reliable, like fixing cars and fixing roofs, and building houses and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the day of your jackleg mechanic, that's another thing. You got to update them skills. Like the thing that your uncle was doing or what my brother still does ain't happening on these 21st century cars, They got all these sensors and all this kind of thing. So we have to also encourage those folks that are willing to do that job to update their skills, because they're losing money right about now because they can't even fix these cars.
So that's for the next generation of hustlers to come in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The next level. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you don't update your skills, you often get passed over. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I'm saying get books of dependable and because like a lot of these jacklegs, man, sometimes they be dodging money. I be like, God damn, all right, cool. You were supposed to meet me. So we need dependable individuals that could come in and handle business. Because when my roof is leaking, I'm not trying to wait for you to get done doing what you know what I'm saying? I need you now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we need, and we need to cultivate that. And there's individuals out there. And that's a plug for those that want to put their services into the Kwanzaa book. You know what I'm saying? You go to Columbus Kwanzaa 365, and you can put an ad in the book letting the community know what they want to do. This is not just an ad book. You know what I'm saying? It's a book that I can't remember what we calling it, but it's a directory. We're trying to put together a directory of those that support the Kwanzaa celebration. We want to fill a book with different people with different skills so that we can have a book not only look good, but you could use it throughout the year so that you could practice the Kwanzaa principles. Did somebody come on or somebody, we got the Lady J. Lady J, welcome to the show. Lady J might not have a lot to say because it took me a minute to figure it out, but this is competition season. So, her mind might be, she doing about 3 or 4 things at once because these ladies, these women and these girls take these competitions seriously. They're working late into the night. So, Lady J, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Y'all see how she was short and curt with me? You know what I'm saying? She just,
I wanted to know, where are we at in the show?
We break it down to Proverbs. So we're gonna move to the second one. You got a choice between 1 and 2, Lady J. Pick the number.
You said 1 or 2?
Yeah. Oh, somebody kicking it.
All right, Lady Rockets are number 1, so I'm going to choose number 1.
Number 1, it does not matter how slowly you go, so long as you do not stop. Damn. Somebody at the bar. I ain't gonna say no name. Somebody at the bar. Damn it. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. Are there any comments on that one? Come on, people.
I got it.
Go ahead.
the other day we had professional development at work, and the year before I started, it was the first year that the entire school was reconstituted. So they got rid of, the teachers. I think they retained probably 4 employees total. Some of those people weren't teachers prior. Maybe I believe it's 3 teachers. One person moved into a teaching position, and the aide got to stay. So that's 5 people. Everyone else was hired by the newly hired principal. Anyways, she often shares that that first year she gave them the book, The Tortoise and the Hare, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that what you said makes me think about that tortoise and that hare. But the reason why she referenced it is because after many years of being a failing school, being an academic emergency, straight F's on the report card, being, what is it called when they, academic emergency, right? When they require your school to do all that extra work. Do you know what it's called?
You said academic emergency.
Yeah. Okay, so the school was recently, the school is coming out of academic emergency. I'm sorry?
No, that's somebody in the background. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, you know that there's levels to that. So whatever the academic emergency, we're actually on academic watch now, right? So our status has changed. And so that work, this is the 4th year, so that work took 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
It took 3 years. But I too, within my time being there, I can see how just being, taking one thing at a time, focusing on that, right? Each year. And it wasn't overnight, you see, but eventually it happened. It took 4 years, but now you get to see the fruit of your labor. So again, I just think about the tortoise and the hare. Gives you the idea not to give up, not to throw in the towel. You might not see the rewards, the benefits that next day, that next month, but if you stay consistent, and you take it one step at a time, you will be victorious.
Mm. Sister Shrika says, one of my grandmother's saying, which I think is very relevant in today, is be a Jill of all trades. No matter what is going on in the world, you will have skills or a trade that you will always be able to take care of your family with. And I gotta say, if it comes fast, it don't last. If it comes slow, it's good to go. It's almost like some work is better than no work. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, that whole struggle piece, because a lot of times we see people quitting when things aren't moving as fast as they wish. You know what I'm saying? And I think this comes, like, for example, in math they have this thing called exponentials. Like I was doing exponential numbers when I was talking about building up the fan base, or building up those that follow the show, or join the conversation of the show, and how it grows exponentially. But exponential growth looks very slow, and it looks very tedious, all the way until probably about the 15th to the 20th flip. You know what I'm saying? If you look at exponential growth, it is crazy. Like and it's so deep that every time I do the experiment, because like I say, I tell my kids, let's build your family pyramid, and I want you to tell me how many family members, how many people or parents did it take to make you, if we go back 30 generations? And I always start doubting when I'm looking at the numbers and I'm saying, I know this work, but when I'm looking at these numbers, it don't make no sense. Because after 30 flips, it's like 536 million or something like that. Starting with one, starting with you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you don't see the effects until later in the flips. But if you hang on and you hang in there and you press through, you know what I'm saying? You see success. I mean, because I've been doing this. I've been doing what I'm doing now as far as this show. Shit. Damn near 8. How old is Cleve? Cleve is 13. Shit, I was doing shows before Cleve came here. You know what I'm saying? Then when he got here, I got a little bit more serious with it. I've been doing these for 8 years. At least. Hell, with Facebook and shit like that, well, let me put it this way. I got thousands and thousands of hours of this stuff packed on. And it's like, boom, don't quit. See, because and this is something I want to throw out to both of y'all, well, all of y'all, because we're thinkers. It's almost like I'm starting to believe that we have to kind of think like first generation immigrants. What do I mean? Because it's almost as if we have to build a foundation from nothing, so that our kids can actually have something to stand on because of the no compete clause that was put into the contracts of black folks here in America. So we have to kind of start from like almost as if we are first generation people here. At least in that mind state. Because I'm sitting up here and I'm listening to some of this shit. Now it just boggles my mind that the progress, you know what I'm saying? But like I say, even when I look at my people, the progress is exponential. It's hard to see. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a mathematician like our brother Kwame, you will miss those numbers because they say something to you. You know what I'm saying? You'll recognize the pattern. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think a lot of people recognize the exponential growth that they're going through. You know what I'm saying? They call it like hitting the wall. Like if you practicing something for hours and you start all of a sudden you hit a certain level where it feel like you ain't going nowhere. But an exponential flip is on its way for you if you are able to hang on in there. Even if sometimes you got to move slow. And somebody else want to go? Because y'all know been practicing talking for a long time. So I keep on going. Ain't no stopping it.
Well, you can maybe go on to your next proverb then.
All right, well, excuse me, Miss Producer, Director, or I mean, you already took the goddamn show over. Goddamn.
You wanted somebody to say something.
I know. If you're doing your best, you won't have any time to worry about failure. Where's my lightning at? Where lightning? Come on out. Lightning. Hey. Next time, don't take that long, lightning. It don't take that long for you to get fired up. That's the lightning strike from God. You know what I'm saying? I mean that one right there. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing your best, you won't have any time to worry about failure. And man, one of y'all got to take that one. I need to get me some ambrosia. So somebody take the mic while I go get me some ambrosia.
Not only does it prevent failure or have you keep failure from being anywhere near you, you are way ahead of the game. Something that I always tell my kids to, you got to prepare. I don't care if the thing is due in 2 weeks, you start today. Get ahead of the game.
Well, I'm going to tell them about your ass in college. How about that? Mm-hmm. Miss, I'm gonna be ahead of the game.
You don't want me to start talking.
Like, what the hell? I'm ahead of the game.
We all got some stories.
Y'all ain't got none of them about me in them classes, girl, because I started my shit. My shit. Listen, I started my shit.
Out. But you know what? Look what you did with it. You made it out. You made it out alive on top of that.
Yeah, because if I didn't, I would have been, Frances would have murdered my ass if I didn't. I mean, she was very clear with me. You know what I'm saying? And it got me the freedom that I wanted because I said, listen, so you saying if I finish college, you know what I'm saying, you going to leave me alone the rest of my life? I'm going to be able to live my life? Yeah, finish college. I said, oh, shit. Because, you know, a Leo, you got Leos is rough, dog. I had a birth mother that was a Leo and a spiritual mother that was Leo, and both of them kept their foot in my ass. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and can be very unforgiving if you know.
Yeah.
Shit.
Highly judgmental.
Oh man, shit. Oh, rough on you. You know what I'm saying? But now I wanna bring up this point here, because it didn't say if you're doing your best, you won't have any. It don't say that you won't fail. It says you won't have time to worry about failure. Because one of the things I try to stress to my kids, to not my children, and all the young people I work with, that oftentimes the path to success is paved with bricks made from the dust of your failures. That's a High Tim original. You know what I'm saying? And you get used, because sometimes even when you do your best, failure gonna come. But you ain't got time to think about that shit. And in being at your best, you're gonna be able to jump up and do something else. You know what I'm saying? It's not about being stuck in your in what happens. It's about enjoying what you're doing so much that is, you know what I'm saying? Cool. All right, boom. This one didn't work out. Boom. Let's get it. Let's get it again. Let's get it again. Let's get it again. Because oftentimes you have to fail a whole lot to be good at anything. There's nothing that we do that we come in and we just automatically super good at it. That shit. So if it happens, I don't even believe that shit happens. But if it happens, that shit is just super rare. Where you just go into some shit, you know what I'm saying, and all of a sudden you are the maestro of it. You was born to do this shit. No, that comes with work.
You don't think that happens? That's what you're saying?
I know that shit don't happen.
So you don't believe that you can possess skills that when you go into a certain job, you would just be naturally good at it?
Nope.
Interesting. I think that I just, you know.
And I think that's one of those.
Brother Hatim.
Yes, ma'am.
You have heard of savants, right?
Yeah. But even when you talk about savants, see, because check this out, even when you talk about savants, they had to be exposed to the thing that they're doing. Savants, we usually...
No, they don't.
Okay, you can't tell me the motherfucker just could be dropped on the motherfucker piano and start playing somebody else's... No, right. They gonna start playing music. They can't start playing... Right. They can't start playing that shit that people will pay for. You understand what I'm saying? Or
yes, they can.
I'm not on that. I don't believe that shit.
I'm gonna drop some folks on you.
Drop some on me.
Who are savants, and one of them is John Coltrane's wife.
Alice Coltrane?
Yes.
So she can't talk?
And there's an Indian dude who was also, I believe, a mathematician, but he was in some things that attach to your soul.
Listen.
And music is one of those things. That's why it's called music.
Oh, that was dope. You think you're going to shut me up with that? That was dope. I'm not backing down. Because the only piece that I'm saying is, let me say this. The reason I say that, right, is because I run into a lot of young people who believe that they should just be naturally good at shit. So I want to stress the fact that you may have some natural talent, but it still requires work, because a lot of our kids do have natural skill in certain things, but then they rest on that natural skill, and that's not enough to be the best. That's not enough to be at the top of the thing, because even those savants that do that shit, I'm guaranteeing they spend hours and hours doing that shit. And I honestly believe that a motherfucker can't sit down at a piano that he has never seen and start banging out hits right away. There has to be there might be a love there that he can sit down and he might be able to hear shit that we can't hear and be able to make those combinations. But to be able to make the combinations that actually move other people, I honestly believe it take work. Yeah, you can have some natural skill, but that shit requires work to really be able to bring it out.
How do you think Fingertips came about?
Fingertips by Stevie Wonder?
Yeah.
Man, Stevie Wonder was, you read the story. Stevie Wonder was stumbling around the streets of Detroit, beating on cans and singing to help make money for his family. He ain't just...
Fingertips is a harmonica-based song. It is his gift.
He didn't just pick up. You believe that the first time...
with no effort.
Wait, hold on. You believe that he just picked up the harmonica and start playing Fingertips?
Yep, and a derivative of it, which is how the song came about.
Jackie.
I'm telling you, some things in music is connected to your soul. Now, I can't say that for other things, but there is a gifted Indian mathematician, Ramanujan, who...
we gonna call. Hold on. I'm about to call him. Hold on, operator. Give me ramen noodles so that we can talk about this math shit. What?
Ramanujan, fool.
Oh, you ain't say ramen noodles? I'm sorry. Listen.
You know my thing is English,
right.
So he had to be very interesting to me for me to read his story.
So he just picked up. He just picked up a pencil and started writing out numbers.
Right. There are certain ideas that came from. I forget what he's known for. He's known for some staple of mathematics that the numbers just came to him. You know, the universe spoke to him.
So
that's how I connect with the idea or the principle of savant. Is that the universe speaks to them. They are very rare. I wouldn't teach that to children as though that is the staple. That's the general thought that everybody is going to have this gift. It's a gift. We all have gifts, and some you have to work a little harder than others.
Well, I say that we are predisposed to certain gifts, right, or certain talents, or certain characteristics, or things that will make, if we choose to go with a profession that allows us to use that gift, we may have to learn some other things, but we will be naturally equipped for it. I remember my first year teaching. I remember when I always wanted to be a teacher. But when I got a full ride to college, my mentor told me not to be a teacher because they made no money. And so I decided to pursue a different line of study, right? And so I graduate, and in the minute I graduate, another person I admired and looked out for me says, you should come be a substitute teacher. So I go sign up, and I remember I was horrible in school. And I remember... the first couple of days I went and subbed at this school, which happened to be the middle school I attended, they were giving me duties, like lunch duty playground duty. They wouldn't give me a classroom. So by fourth, fifth day, and I'm, now looking back, I knew they weren't allowed to do that. But the first day they give me a class, they give me art class, which means I have 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And so this particular day, I turn on some music, I give them the art lesson, we sit there. At the end of the day, the custodian comes in the room, and he says to me, "What did you do to those children?" The art teacher never teaches with their door open. The room is not trashed. It was at that moment that I knew that I should have pursued my first passion, because I was able to teach without, effort. It was now when I started teaching for real and I had to grade papers and plan lessons, I figured, oh shoot, there's some things I'm just not naturally disposed to, but the gift of teaching, I can do that. Later on, I met a fabulous social studies teacher, and I told him that I felt, teaching next to him, I was kind of embarrassed because he knew so much about everything. And he explained to me that day, he said, you have something, this comes with doing it over and over and over again. But you have something that teachers who have done this a long time don't have, And so, yes, I'm not saying that you're going to go in and that you don't have to put in some work and learn some things. But I am saying that if we teach and we encourage our children to go with their natural talent, they'll end up in a profession that will be more a passion and less like work.
See,
right? It won't be hard for them to get on top, because they will have that talent that naturally just predisposes them to that profession.
But I mean, are you arguing for my point, or are you arguing against my point? I'm gonna beat up the next savant that I run into, because I think they it's a goddamn lie. I'm just saying, man. I mean, because I hear both of y'all, but I just, like I said, I have to kind of, because I look back on my life, and I'm like, a lot of shit that people would look at me that thought came easily, I have been preparing for that shit my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're a natural athlete. No, it ain't shit natural about this. I've been running in the sand pile in Akron, Ohio, climbing up on shit, jumping down on shit, being dared to do shit. I've been prepared for this. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. And all I'm saying is because we work so closely with youth, and when you see, I'm not saying push somebody away from their natural inclination or their those gifts. I'm not saying that they're not gifts, but like I said, we all know that story about that one person that was supposedly gifted, and because y'all can't necessarily see me, that was gifted. I'm putting the quotes up. That was gifted, and everybody told him he was gifted, and in many cases consider him a savant on them courts on that football field, and they stopped working. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's supposed to come natural to me until they run into another motherfucker who has been working hard at it. You know what I'm saying? I had to work hard at it, and I want our young people to understand, like freedom, like a lot of us believe that freedom. We're naturally gifted for freedom. You know what I'm saying? There's a natural skills, a natural inclination. And I'm like, fuck that. It's a hard work. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't want people to get confused with that. So Raymond Noodles, don't you bring him up on my show no more, because I'm going to knock his ass out when I see him.
But I have to agree with Lady J in that you don't want kids to... I think a lot of times they lose their passion for stuff when it becomes work. Like she said, I mean, you have to guide them a certain way into their gift, like show them, how maybe we have to, I mean, the way the education in some ways is set up, it doesn't show kids how stuff is relatable to their life. And if they to see things being more relatable, like whatever they're gifted at, whatever their talent is, and related to the function of their everyday life, and how that's going to bring, the fortune for them, then they could, maybe connect to it better.
Listen,
but
listen,
you are definitely right in saying that you have to always encourage our kids to put in the man hours.
Right. See, because this is the issue. When I say work, I mean, all right, let me take the word work out. And you have to be able to put in the time. Is that better? See, because I'm not talking about a job work. I'm talking about if you have a passion for some shit. Like, like I said, I invest a lot in doing these shows. I have a passion for this shit.
Right.
Sometimes I don't feel like doing this shit. I mean, but I feel I was born for this, so I got to put in the time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so I'm not just talking about work that it will chase you away, but if you really love it and you're naturally inclined to it, like y'all said, and you're a savant at this shit, then why you can't work at it? Why you?
And a lot of times, your natural inclinations and your talents don't equal money, but they do equal happiness.
Now,
and they only get up and do it again because you're happy with what you're doing, how it's feeding people.
Now,
it also has to do, when we think about nation building, we really have to get ourselves outside of money and know that some people, and I think Tim is going to disagree with me, but
goddamn right,
some people are going to have to do those jobs necessary, and so they're not going to be, I'm thinking about civil servants, right? Well, I've always known that, like I said, as being a teacher, when I decided to go back to teaching, that I wasn't shooting for a 12-bedroom, 4-bathroom home. You know what I'm saying? I'm not shooting for a Bentley. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a teacher. I'm providing something that my nation needs. You know what I'm saying? I'm a humble servant. So my desires are a little different. And so when I think about those other professions where we are underrepresented, but we are most needed, they may not be the best paying professions, but we must have people in those positions in order to have infrastructure, in order to have a community, in order to have a society where we can sustain ourselves. You're going to have, I'm going to go, and I'm going to go into this profession of policing. We look down and we shun that job, but I don't believe it's the job that's the problem. I believe it's the mentality of the people that go into that profession, those people with those manifest destiny ideologies. But if we have children that are interested in that type, policing and things of that sort, why not encourage them to go into it? Because if we're going to police ourselves, we're going to need people to keep the order. You know what I'm saying? We're going to need people to paramedics to come to our house when your daughter sticks a bead up her nose. You feel what I'm saying? We're going to need people in those professions, that look like that.
In other words, somebody got to do it.
Somebody got to do it.
Might as well be us,
especially if we're going to have our own. Yeah, if we're gonna sustain ourselves, if we're gonna have infrastructure, strong communities, if we're gonna have communities where we sustain ourselves, segregated communities, because every time you look at where black people are doing well, those people are segregated. Those people are segregated, and they are required to do business with people that look like them. They're required.
So if you do business and you have a government, you have to have civil servants. Listen, I don't know how you thought I would disagree with you, but we have to be able to develop, as you say, the infrastructure so that we could pay for those people's skills because they are useful. Now, too many of them, you know what I'm saying? Too many of them is not good. You know what I'm saying? Just to give motherfuckers jobs because they can't find a passion. But then you would be surprised how many people have a passion for doing that type of work. I like that. And we have other people that's doing other things, and in a sense being able to throw more money in the pot that helps support those people. Or we are able to trade. So yeah, you need those type of skills. So I can't be talking about nation building, and I can't build a nation with all architects. You know what I'm saying? I need carpenters. I need plumbers. We need all that shit.
You need farmers.
Oh hell
Did you say farmers?
Baby, listen. These people.
Yeah, you need more. And I'm gonna be mean. So black, I'm gonna get mad at me again. Okay, because I'm gonna apologize. But we're not gonna need so many hairdressers. People with salons. You know what I'm saying? I watch us like I'm thinking about when people first started selling hair, right? Weaves. When that became like an industry, like within our community, like with blacks starting businesses, everyone did it. And I said, now what sense did that make? All of y'all selling the same product to the same group of customers.
Because we outsourced everything. But we outsourced everything else, Lady J.
How is this helping us? How? But ain't nobody opened a grocery store. Right?
Because we outsourced all that. We depend on other people to do that shit for us.
But the other thing that is a reality in that is that the type of businesses that we own are dictated by those government organizations. There's a reason why we don't have grocery stores, the main chains of grocery stores in the city. They are not going to do anything for the black small business owner that's not going to serve them in both a financial or a psychological way to keep the oil in the racism wheel rolling.
Let's go back to the proverb.
It's much easier, I guess.
Yes, let's go back to the proverb. It's much easier. It's going to take more work to get that. You're going to have to be slow and steady.
If you're doing your best, you won't have any time to worry about failure. That's not a given. And it does not matter how slowly you go, so long as you do not stop.
In many places throughout the country.
So, but like I said, part of that work is getting more civil servants. Part of that is training more people to be politicians. Part of that is letting people know that it's okay to be black, especially if you are black, not that transracial shit. You know what I'm saying?
But we would change the game if we just produced more black male teachers. We would completely change the game.
Well, in the present system, I don't necessarily agree, but I hear you. We do need. Really,
I say
that's hypocrisy. That's hypocrisy.
That's not hypocrisy. That's not hypocrisy. There's not a problem.
Man, you got to be able to be the visionary on that one, Tim. You got to see what a black man standing in our classrooms would do for our community overnight.
Well, I know what black single women would do to those black men standing in their classroom.
What have they done to the one? What have they done to the black man school in Chicago that graduates 100% of their classes and send them to college? Tell me what they've done. What have the black women done? I'm waiting to hear that.
There's another classroom where the boys had a hard time respecting them and loving them and accepting their care because they was mad at their mamas. Mm-hmm. They needed that male in their life. Mm-hmm. Like they need that role model. Women can teach men what it means to be men, but they can't show them or illustrate how to be a man. They have to be around. And one thing for sure, two things for certain, is very sad to say, but we have a shortage. We have a shortage, and I'm saying this, and I'm speaking for my community. Today, another young black black male murdered. You know how to get more teachers?
You know how to get more black men teachers? Get more black women willing to marry black men that are teachers.
Oh, my goodness, have mercy. And, Father, you are That's a whole nother
giving
show.
giving all that stuff up to them, the hustlers out there in the streets and shit. They get it by the groves, but be a teacher, no, nigga, you gonna struggle here. You got to struggle.
Man, I don't believe you. I don't believe. This is where we disagree. As many, brothers paint sisters in this very shallow way. I think that stigma is tired and cannot be evidenced on a broad scale. Because I could go out any day of the week, gather up 10 women at one time and ask them, would you marry a black man if he was a teacher? I bet you
Jackie. Guarantee she's traveling. She's traveling
all summer long. So wrong.
She's on vacation with him all winter.
God. Oh my
Every
God.
holiday
That's
no
like
question about it. That's the best. I'm looking to marry.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Ultimate flexibility.
Oh my God.
Are you serious?
Oh my
God. Flexibility.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't even believe.
Are you serious?
I don't believe this. I don't believe this. So you said you just gonna go and ask them around, hey, would you marry a teacher?
What the fuck?
What are they supposed to say? What are they? And then they'll go home.
I want to go on Facebook and post this.
They'll go home. They will say yes. They'll click yes, and they'll go home and still fuck with a Pookie. Just get the fuck up.
That is lies.
Oh my God! Pookie got 15 baby mamas, and the dude that struggled to be a teacher.
You got some.
Go ahead.
You got some Trump. You got some serious Trump issues right now.
Oh my God!
You out there grabbing them too.
Listen,
you sound like Trump right now.
I'm just telling you, man. I'm just because it's not the women
from the 80s.
It's not the women. It's the programming. You know what I'm saying? It ain't on women. It's the programming. It's the culture.
You got some New Jack City 1980s issues in your head.
I sure do. But I'm old.
I don't even think, because we gotta remember, Queen, that this man just hit 74. So he forgets some things sometimes what he thinking. Bless his heart.
Lady J, you want me to tell your age? You want me to tell your age? You want me to tell your age?
It's half of yours for sure.
Ooh,
it's gotta be half of yours.
Then respect your elders, you little young pump.
I am respecting.
Respect your elders.
I did not realize we were dealing with a 1980s caveman right here.
Oh my
God. He's full of it.
He's full of it. What you talking about?
You gotta go on.
That's when men was still men, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Now y'all tripping.
Something.
Listen.
That's played out.
No, y'all both violating the laws of Maya. Being able to distinguish the real from the unreal. Y'all talking that unreal shit, and I'm kind of hurt that y'all doing that on the journey. You know, y'all.
I'm gonna have to go out here on Facebook Live. Here to the grocery store.
Do it and prove it.
A few women.
Prove it.
Because this is so ridiculous what you're saying. And did you not hear the benefits that Lady J just mentioned?
What's the benefits?
You spoke all over what she was saying. The benefits of having a black male teacher.
Queen.
Oh no! I'm not doubting. I'm not doubting that. But I'm wondering what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying because in this system, in this present system, hell no. Especially with this new Me Too shit going on, because we ain't heard about the Me Too's at the Chicago school yet, but that shit probably gonna start surfacing real soon.
I have not. I don't miss any days of school, none, and it's not because I love my job and I love the kids I teach. But I really, 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 really love the black men who work in my building, and it is a blessing, especially when I worked at my last school.
Why you ain't married to one of them?
Let me ask you this.
Go and tell her what school you was working at.
How many is it, Lady J?
How many what?
Black teachers?
How many black men teachers?
Go ahead. How many?
I can.
Tell her.
Count.
Count them on one hand.
Well, my building is half and half. So, my administrator's black, my assistant administrator's black.
She said black men. Black men, goddammit.
We have had black men, but my head principal is a black woman.
What? She don't count.
Only black men.
She don't count.
Black men. The black men that you work with.
They're not single though, but all of them functional. It's going to be 5. The men but none of them are classroom teachers. All 5 of those black men are. No, I'm sorry. They don't teach. They teach like instrumental music,
right? Exactly. You
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what they teach.
That's exactly my experience in my kids' school. They're always an instrument. They're in band or strings.
Y'all got band and shit?
Or they're doing gym, or they are their detention guy.
Hey.
He do something
so the detention guy don't get no love. See what I'm saying?
When they get in trouble.
The detention guy don't get no love. That's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying. I didn't say that. I'm just saying where they have designated black men in education. And you are helping to build that stigma that keeps the black man out the classroom. And the vision is to have a black man in the classroom.
You're not gonna put that on. You're not gonna put that on Brown versus Board of Education.
I am putting that on you.
You're not putting that on Brown versus Board of Education, because Malcolm Gladwell did an excellent piece on Brown versus Board of Education. Y'all both need to check that shit out. That shit was deep as fuck.
What in the hell? That don't have nothing to do with what we talking about.
Yes, it does. It has a lot to do with why there's not a lot of black teachers and why a lot of black teachers.
Well, I didn't say black teachers. There's plenty of black teachers.
Black male teachers.
I said black men.
That's one of the reasons. If you listen to Malcolm Gladwell, he kind of break that shit down for you, because there was more teachers. There was more teachers because when the schools were segregated, you got to remember, all those black kids went to all black schools. What happened to all those teachers and all those facilities after Brown versus Board of Education?
But the whole thing is there's been a stigma from the beginning.
The who? What stigma?
That black men.
Oh, that was those was different black women back then. Those was before
That's
the
what
80s.
I was going to say.
Right now,
that part that's not. Part of that was like that because that's a female-dominated position or career. And it's still like that. It's still dominated by females.
And there's no reason for it to be. It's the stigma that people like Hatem is putting on it.
What stigma for Hatem? I ain't putting no stigma on black. I ain't putting no stigma on black male teachers. I put a stigma on some other shit that goes on with that shit. So
that's another show. That's a completely different show, I tell.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, it's because it's so much fuckery going on today. Sometimes it's not even safe. So I'm just saying.
But I'm saying the reason why. I was a PTA treasurer for 5 years at my kids' elementary, and the thing that I noticed was the guy I was saying that worked in the detention part of that was the only really instrumental black man there, because even the other black men who worked in band and strings or what have you, they were both gay. So that's a
I'm throwing stigmas out there on black teachers, Maybe it was just feminine.
I'm saying
maybe it's just feminine.
That is that's not your math. That's not your science. That's their electives. So I'm saying that's something different than having your black man.
I just told you how to get more. I told you how to get more black
teachers and history, and especially
history. Ladies, if y'all want to get more black teachers into black men into education and into teaching and into the classroom, soon as a black man, and this is going out to the young ladies, soon as you hear a black man say that he want to be a teacher, immediately throw him some pussy. He will consider going to education.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Because what happens is that all the girls he like go to Pookie. You see what I'm saying? Pookie and Ray Ray and them. And he gets them after You know what I'm saying? He been in teaching long enough to make a living to where, women will come to him. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to keep it all the way real with you. If we want really women, if y'all want to change us,
right now.
if we want to change stuff, because I already got the master plan. I got it written down. I got a plan for you. I can send the Black Woman Handbook out, and like all the fields that we want, right? Women reward the men that get into that shit. Period. Let the nigga have 2 or 3 women and shit like that. Live the life.
It ain't got nothing to do with women.
Oh my God, Jackie! Jackie, stop it!
No. Let me say this. Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
All civil servants have been given incentives in buying houses and their discounts on their homes, debt relief for college. Those and if you're a black male, if you're a black male, they have an extra stipend available to them that they make a certain extra amount of money to bring them into the classrooms. They will be coming by the droves. Black men will first get the coat. They money trail.
No,
right.
No, Jackie, see now, here we go with this black woman shit, because y'all trying to tell me.
They get to chase. Look.
You trying to tell me? Why do they want the money? Why do they want the house? Why do they want the subsidies? Why do they want them? Just tell me that. Why do I want extra money? Because what?
Because first,
I'm listening.
Before the women, every black man's mama done taught him that chasing money is never going to lose you a woman. Chasing women will lose you plenty of money. So that's the formula that he's going to look at.
Hold on.
I'm going to get out here and chase this money, and then I will get the other things that I want.
Jackie,
I know that there's plenty of black men like yourself that have a passion for speaking passionately to educate young people.
Jackie.
And if we could bring that into the classroom, like I said, you would change the face of the community overnight.
Jackie.
Because something I had to explain to the principal of my school is that first and foremost, you are a civil servant. This is a community activist program. That is what a school is. This is a community activity center.
Jackie.
And you are a community activist and leader in your community. That is what black men become when they become teachers in the classroom.
Jackie.
The women do the same thing, but it's a different element added onto it
that builds women want to become teachers.
Of children of all races when a black man stands there in front of their classroom. I'm telling you.
Ms. Jackie.
And baby, nobody will agree with me on that.
Ms.
But
Jackie.
I'm telling you, that's my firm belief.
Ms. Jackie, and I respect your belief. But I'm not telling you why women want to become teachers or why women should become teachers. I'm just trying.
I didn't say anything about women.
Hold on, time out. But I'm trying to open your eyes to a man. Because you remember, you said every woman or every mother tells her son that if he chase money, he always going to have plenty of women. Now, I gave you the formula to get more teachers in the class. If you start educating some of these fine women to start doing what I just told you, you're going to have it, because this is the issue, Jackie.
You're ever-loving by.
Jackie, listen to me.
I can't talk to you no more on this issue.
Don't hang up yet. Just let me finish.
Lady J, I'm giving you the baton, sister.
Listen, y'all won't listen to a man about a man. This is the shit we go through. I'm trying to explain to y'all. Listen to me.
You know, this is
once again. There you go.
This is what's so ironic. I met him work in a school, right?
Oh God.
Working in a school. Goodness. Yeah, I met him. He's working in a school. So my children, I had lived in the suburbs.
Don't tell the stories. Y'all just trying to drown out my points.
Go to my son's high school. Every time they had a picture of every teacher in the building. All the black teachers worked in emotionally disturbed classrooms, like the special ed classrooms, right? I used to tease my son about that. So then I moved to a different suburb. My kids was in my younger kids were in elementary school. Every day for the first month, my kids went to school, and my question was the same every day. Did you see a black person today? There was not one black person, not one custodian, not one lunch lady. The only place they seen a black person was when they went to school, went to the bus to get on that bus and got off that bus. That's the only time they seen somebody look like them.
Dang.
So
Where was that, Dublin?
No, Whitehall. It was Whitehall. Go figure. Whitehall. And
wow.
Y'all
no, and so
y'all
I ended up. I took a job. I took a job where Hakeem works at, and I kid you not, it did not take me a month before I pulled my kids. This was the beginning of the school year, because like I said, every day I'm asking my kid, not one black person, not one, not the lunch. Like, did you go to lunch? I could not believe it. I go into this school, and the first thing I notice is that there's black men. The next thing I notice is that these black men are required the first certain days of school, because I start towards the beginning of the year, to wear ties, right, and dress up. You have all these black. I hurried up and withdrew my kids from the school they were at. I hurried up. Now, I wasn't in love with the idea of my kids going to school where I worked at, because they had these tendencies, right? And I didn't know if I was ready for that, but I knew one thing for sure, two things for certain. With my son not having a father, with his father being deceased, he had to be around these black men. He had to. So when you can take your son to a school and a black man will spank him with the rod off the window that you tighten the blinds.
That ain't happen. That don't happen at Millennium Community School. That's some bullshit.
No, true story.
That's
and the next time he got in trouble, I asked him, I said, now, you know I got to come to work. Please don't. Man, I tell you, I sent my son, this was the best day of my life. The best day. I sent my son with his track coach, black man, and I tell him, I said, oh, he's acting up again. You know, I just don't know what to do. When they brought that boy back to me, the skin was missing from his face. Something real live had happened. And I was appreciative for that. I was appreciative, because it's very hard for me being a woman. My oldest son, I would whip him, and I would be hurting myself. He would be standing there taking my punches, and it would dawn on me. There's nowhere but a jail where a man has to sit and put himself, allow somebody to beat him, and he can't fight back. That's not normal. We raise our men to protect themselves. That's not normal. And then my son taking this from me, and I'm not even hurting him, but it was such a relief to have men around my son, my youngest son, right, who was willing to put in that work, who was willing to put bass in their voice. I freaking loved it. And for the time that I needed it, it was right there for me, that village. And that's what these boys need. That's what these children need, period. Period. We live in a society, a fatherless society. Either they're dead, they're locked up, or they're dead.
Or with white women or other men.
I didn't want to say it.
The truth. Now, see now, I tell y'all how to keep us, and y'all bring up the white women, right? I hear you.
Why should we be using our man hours, or our woman hours, I should say, to be figuring out how to keep you? Just the essence of who we are, to bring life into the community.
Oh my God!
Should be enough.
Now listen, I can argue the point that man is just as valuable and just as important. I'm just saying.
Who said he did that? We're arguing the point
we started. I just want you to understand what happened. We started discussing how to keep black men in the room. Then all of a sudden, how to get more black men in there. I tell y'all how to do it. Then y'all try to tell me how a black man thinks, and I'm a black man. That's some black woman shit that y'all need to stop. Y'all can't do that. I'm trying to let you know.
Oh my goodness!
I'm trying to let you know.
All the black men
Can I finish?
I know that.
Now, hold on. No, that's not me. You understand what I'm saying? That's not me. And most individuals, hold on, time out. Let me finish. Most black men that get into teaching realize that there's no money there. And the major reason that a man makes money is for women. We buy cars for women. We buy clothes for women. If without that, we ain't dressing up. I ain't dressing up, and I'm getting a haircut so another nigga can see me.
Life.
But what I'm saying is, if you want to get more teachers,
what else you gonna do with your money?
Hold on. If you want to get more teachers, then you got to make that profession a woman attractor. That's all I'm saying. Now, also, not just a woman attractor because I'm looking for somebody to take care of a child that I had with a nigga out here or a nigga in jail. I'm attracted to you. I want to have your baby. I'm going to pursue you. I don't give a shit how much money you make. If we want to change, if we really want to change the culture, if women just be like, yo, I ain't fucking with nobody that ain't in this, we change the whole goddamn culture. If you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying. That's just okay.
You hung up on some 1980s New Jack City shit.
Okay. I can solve the problem.
I'm telling you, there are plenty.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you
of women of all ages that were black male teachers.
Why do you think
right now?
Wait, hold on.
Right now they have the best. And if you're listening and you don't want a black male teacher, I'm going to tell you that is the man you absolutely want. Again, there are many.
That's right. Go on, train them for me. Train them.
In real life.
Train them. See, because of listen, and then also y'all don't want to hear the truth.
In real life,
y'all don't want to hear the truth. I'm just saying. I'm throwing it out there.
I tell him, you're gonna have to walk out in the street tomorrow and get your own survey going.
I don't need the survey. I already know how I roll.
Yeah, you do.
I already know how to roll. Because then, because I know the drama. I know the drama that goes with it.
Is outdated.
Okay.
You definitely don't know. Because listen.
Wait.
Wait.
Time out. Is either one of y'all married to a teacher?
Yes, I am a professor of mathematics. Thank you very much.
Wait, time out, Jackie.
With a PhD in mathematics. Thank you very much.
Jackie, you talk to your brother. You talk to your brother. Now you can fool these Jackie. Now we talking about. You're right. You got me on the teacher thing, right? But he teaching college.
You have you on the teacher thing. Thank you.
You got me on the teacher thing, but that ain't the teacher we talking about, is it, Jackie?
It don't matter.
Lady J, you got quiet.
He could be a professor. You didn't say he didn't have to. He could be a professor.
Okay, cool. You didn't either, but I got you. Lady J,
I'm looking for a teacher.
Lady J, what was the last male black teacher you dated, Lady J?
What? Say it again.
What was the last black male teacher you dated?
First, it has to be black male teachers.
We talking about teachers.
I've dated a teacher or two. I fantasize about dating more. Some of them are married. Some of them are too young. But
you actually went on a date. You actually went on a date with a black male teacher.
A few.
Why you ain't grab his ass?
I try not to date the men I work with, so I try to go to all the PDs that they have, especially in the summertime, because those are boy. I love my job. I absolutely love my job. And the minute, if I can find me a black male teacher who is single and available, I would definitely marry him. If it presented itself, for sure.
You heard that, didn't you?
For sure. I am actively looking.
I'm just listening.
Every day.
If every black male...
out of the only 5 black male teachers in the United States, she was able to actually find one. And they too.
Oh, it's a lot of black male teachers. And a lot of them might be at home drinking by themselves, listening to my show, saying, I don't believe that they, what is the number? Put the number up, Brother Hot Tip, so I can come in and give you some backup.
Where are your listeners? Where are your listeners? Because I need other people to
quiet
chime
right
in and
now.
say, are you wrong?
Oh, man.
You ain't wrong. Ain't even made that up.
No,
Women,
see, because you trying to get me, you trying to get me on a moral, on you going out to ask women a moral question. Would you date a teacher? Of course I would. Of course. Yes, I would love to date a black male teacher. Yes, right until he can't do what. I'm just gonna shut my mouth. You right. I'm caught in the 80s. I'm caught in the 80s.
What can he do?
Nothing. I'm old fashioned. I'm caught in the 80s. I'm caught in the 80s. I'm sorry. You right. I'm just gonna be quiet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. I'm giving y'all the combination to save the black race, but y'all won't listen to me because I'm all crazy.
Women want professional men, and teaching is a profession with professional men. So we love women. Women. I'm not talking about girls. I'm talking about women. I'm not talking about people who are looking for
So
themselves. I'm talking about
how many women is out there?
Themselves.
It must be about 7 women out this motherfucker. Because I hear you. I hear you, right? So now you throwing a qualifier. The women, right? The women. So there's not a lot of women out here, is what you're saying. Because there is quite a few male teachers. They kind of spread out.
This is what I'm saying. Let's go back to the original statement. We need more male teachers, period. There were more male teachers. There will be more black women married to those male teachers, period, point blank. And I do want to say,
we can make teachers if women be like, look. I'm gonna give you 3 women. If you don't give them a raise, give them 3 women, and you have male teachers like you wouldn't even believe. Every black male teacher deserves. Say it right here on air, and we put it on Facebook. Every black male teacher. If you want, every black male teacher deserves 3 women. I'm guaranteeing that tomorrow, motherfuckers will change their majors.
Wait a minute. Let's go back. Why does he deserve 3 women? He can't afford 3 women. We already talked about.
Wait, time out. That's the problem. See, now it comes down to the money. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you how to get 3. I'm trying to tell you how to get teachers into the classroom without, and they don't even have to make that much money. Now it's back to money. So he can't afford 3 women. So why the 3 women can't help him support the family? I'm just telling you how to get more. I'm just telling you how to get. Okay.
Let's talk about this. If we're going to talk about polygamy. All right.
You don't have to put a label on it. Don't put a label on it. Hold on. Listen, I don't want to get into the polygamy discussion, but I'm trying to tell you, if you want to get black men into the classroom, you take the thing.
If we want to
wait, hold on. Let me finish. If you want to get black men into the classroom, and that's what you want to do, and we got black men all in all these schools doing stuff, why don't y'all reward the black men and make the black men valuable?
With 3 wives?
Listen.
With 3 wives.
Listen. Well, hey, we ain't got, as a community, we don't got no money. You can't reward them with money.
You need to stop while you're ahead.
Why? Why? What's so unrealistic about me saying something like that? Because men like women. Now, if teaching is such a needed thing and it would change the game, you ain't saying change your life. You said change the game, and it will take us to another level as a people. Why shouldn't he? Why shouldn't young men be able to be rewarded with something like that? I'm just saying, we can't give him no goddamn money.
If he know women and not like I know women, he probably don't want 3 no way. One is more than
but the option would be nice. The option would be nice, right? The option would be nice. Don't take the option away from him.
I'm going back to my polygamy statement, and what I'm going to say is,
I don't want to hear about polygamy.
We'll offer him 3 wives. One wife is going to be blind, and she needs a provider and health insurance. One wife has some other issues as well. What these wives got to look like? One of them got 3 arms. What they got to look like is we
Oh,
about what a
so
woman
you
look
want
like.
to punish
This is about the good of our
him?
community.
You want to punish
Don't be
him?
thinking you about
Wait,
to
hold
get you
on.
3 Holly
See, but
Berry.
hold on.
Don't think you about to get you 3 Holly Berry. We'll
So
get
here
you
we
3
go.
women, all right.
Here we go. Right? I'm hearing jealousy. I'm hearing anger. I'm hearing.
What is the jealousy?
I mean, I'm like,
Where
you
is
know,
the
he got to
jealousy?
have one that's blind. He got to have one with 3 arms.
Because
I'm doing is making an observation as a man.
What
and
are you saying? You're saying that we're going to get. You're saying that it as a prize we're going to give you a Holly Berry, a Jada Pinkett, and another supermodel, Serena Williams. No,
and really, let me go back. Hold on, let me go back because I'm not even saying give. Let the man go out and get it. But the point is, we have to make we have to make what we want valuable enough for the women to want to go to it. So maybe he might not want 3. Maybe he might find that one that he want to be with. My point is, women are not chasing down teachers. They're chasing down other niggas. They're chasing down thugs. They chasing
lies.
down. Okay.
The lies.
Okay.
And let me tell you this, Hatem.
Okay.
Not one more time will you offend
any male teachers out there. Hold on. Any male. I know I got some male teachers on Gianni Journey. Call in 614-556-4535 because these women are delusional. These women are delusional. You're illusional because you come at us after you done had a baby. Come on now, you need health insurance for your kid because you know I got good insurance.
Yeah, he done went to the wrong corner.
Yeah, you done went to the wrong corner, the wrong club, the wrong place.
Oh man,
I don't know where the hell you hanging out at.
Oh, my life
is to get from over there.
My life is good. I'm just letting you know, right? Because I'm a nation builder. I'm taken care of in many different ways. But the point that I'm trying to point out to you is that I'm only making a suggestion. Y'all can shoot it down and y'all can tell me what a man wants, even though I'm in a man's skin. Y'all say it's money, and this is the issue for me.
Y'all want money, Hatem?
Huh?
You don't want money before women?
Hold on, no, Lord, no. Let me tell you why.
Really?
Yeah, let me tell you, Jackie. Think about this, Jackie. Think about this. In college, why even when we was doing some of the ill shit we was doing, all I was looking for was love. I would have been happy. You know what I'm saying? I was looking for women. I look for a woman.
But I'm confused.
What? Go ahead. I went to college because I was told I was supposed to. Go ahead.
I'm confused because your whole foundation of this argument is that women, black women, don't want black men without money.
That wasn't the foundation of the argument. I told the foundation of what we're discussing is getting more black men to teach it. No, the foundation. No, you got me mixed up. You got me mixed up with Tommy Sotomayor. That's what you got right there. The foundation of our argument. The foundation of our argument was getting black men into teaching. That's what we have been discussing. And I'm saying,
no. Listen, Hatem, can I talk for 1 second?
Yes, ma'am.
That is the premise of the discussion we're having.
Don't get fancy. Don't get fancy. I don't understand them words.
That is the premise of our discussion, not the foundation of your argument.
What's the foundation of my argument?
The foundation of your argument was that black women do not want black teachers because they don't have enough money.
I'll go for that.
They don't make money.
I go for that.
Okay, so that was the whole bottom line.
Now it wasn't black men.
Now you're trying to argue something different. So
no.
I'm confused.
No. What I said, no. Listen to me. And I want to be clear on this, right? Because I'm listening. You doing some good word magic there. I dig it, right? But I'm saying if you make the career and that role valuable, where individuals will be with this man regardless of how much you make. As a matter of fact, look at it as a point of honor because he's doing something like this, then he wouldn't have to necessarily strive for more money.
That was a point that Lady J made long time ago, but go ahead.
But it's not appreciated. It's not appreciated. It's not appreciated.
Now it's not appreciated because
if black women appreciated, if black women appreciated black men and was looking for black men to be teachers, I'm guaranteeing there will be more black men teachers. If women, that's why you got a whole bunch of people in law school that should be teachers. You got a whole bunch of people pursuing engineers that should be teachers. You got a whole bunch of people who can't even play football, pursuing football because they think it's going to attract the women.
I want to pull a call out.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. And don't prove me, and hold on, and don't prove me wrong, and don't prove me wrong with this whole moral shit of going to ask somebody, oh,
I'm not going to ask anybody, but what I'm going to say,
would you date a black teacher, black male teacher? That's some moral shit.
What I'm going to say to the listening audience, I want to encourage more of you to encourage more of your young black youth to go into these professions, that we are underrepresented.
And
that includes teaching, that includes policing, that includes any and all professions where we are underestimated.
No, fuck that. Time out. Stop with the public service announcement. We talking about black men in the classroom. If you want more black men in the classroom, appreciate it. Women, throw yourself at the men that's our teachers so that the young boys can see that and be like, you know what? I want to be a teacher, and I'm going to be a damn good teacher.
Let me tell you this. And one thing for sure, two things for certain. You work in a building, and you see the number of women that come in there and throw themselves at them men that work in that building. So you need to be ashamed of yourself.
Wait, hold on. I'm slow. I might not see that. I don't notice that. I'm at the end. I'm at the other end of that where they be where they be just totally disrespectful to me. I'm sorry. I don't notice that. You understand what that you understand me?
Stop the lie.
Okay, cool.
Stop the lie.
Okay.
Stop the lie. I don't even want to say anyone's name, but I know his parent-teacher conference numbers are through the roof. Every mama comes to see him on parent-teacher conference day. But he wears those tight
but he's single.
He so good in those tight pants and those tight shirts.
But he's single. They come to look at him like he's a zoo animal. They come and look at him like he's a zoo animal, and he's single. He's single. They come to look at him.
He won't be single for. He won't be single for.
How long he been teaching at the school? How long you been teaching at the school?
He won't be single for long.
How long you been teaching?
He won't be single for long.
How long you been teaching?
And he definitely ain't single because of that. He ain't single because of that.
Yeah, he's single because of the other madness that come along with it.
I watched the woman show up one day to drop her kids off in a full leotard with a cape on. I know she was looking for a picture from them teachers for show. And you know it and I know it. I see it every day.
I don't know it. I'm working. I don't be noticing shit like that. I just handle my business.
If you was working, and this what I'm just gonna tell you what I heard. Little Birdie told me that Hatim back in the day, you might have looked like you was quite handsome. So I could imagine
back
that
in
if
the
you
day,
were teaching back then,
back
you might
have. Back in the day, see, y'all don't want to deal with Brother Hatim's truth. Right, and that's cool, and I understand. This is my truth. You don't have to take it. You don't have to wear it.
I got pictures from back in the day. I got pictures from 22.
And I didn't get no holler.
Before he cut them dreads.
I didn't get no holler. Jackie, see, this is what I'm saying. I've been doing this for a long time, and I got no holler. No holler. And then when I did
You're married. Dude, you don't
No, hold on. I ain't been married my whole life. What are you talking about? I didn't get no holler. You know what I'm saying? I had to go out hunting. I had to hunt and track a motherfucker down. What is you talking about?
Say that again. say that again, sister. If he was a teacher, they'd have been knocking on his door too. I heard about him. I couldn't believe it. So if you got some pictures, you should post so I can see them. Cause I didn't know about
But look,
Jackie got
I'm
all the
gonna put
pictures.
you on game, Hotel. I'm gonna put you on some underground game that obviously the other male teachers ain't shared with you. You heard how she was talking about the parent-teacher night, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where they ain't even gotta go to the club. They get about 5 numbers, at least 5 to 10 numbers. Parent-teacher conference.
I ain't lying.
Black teachers is the biggest max I've ever seen. And the only reason a woman ain't with him is because he don't want that woman. That would be the only reason the black man don't have a black woman.
Because if she had the parent-teacher conference, she wasn't looking for the teacher first. She had it by somebody else that wasn't a black teacher. Boom! When my explode? Oh, goddamn. Where you at, explosion? Oh, God, where you at? Oh. Family, I want to thank y'all for joining me on GIB Journey.
Completely off the rails.
I want to thank you for listening to GIB Journey. You know, where the male teacher gets the leftovers. Y'all so nice.
Man, I wish Nikki was up.
Man.
So she'll say some things that me and Lady J just too nice and kind.
Which Nikki? New York Nikki? My sister New York Nikki?
Yes.
What's she gonna say? She married to a teacher?
I wish she was up.
Is she married to a teacher?
No, she ain't married to a teacher.
So
she would tell you how
she can't even get in this. She probably listening and she agreed with me secretly and be like, I understand. I ain't want no goddamn teacher either, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Be like, come on now. But ladies, but seriously, it's 11:15. I gotta get up in the morning and do the daily toast and then get ready, get my kids out of here to go to school. I love both of you and I thank y'all for joining me. For joining me on the show. I want to thank everybody that listened in now and listened in later. Like and subscribe, and sometimes be bold enough to join the conversation because you can have fun like we was having right now, and sometimes we have deeply serious conversations.
I do have to say one thing, Hatem.
Go ahead.
I do have to say one thing. I'm so sorry. And I hate to end on a controversial note.
But hold on, wait, before you do that. Why don't you let people know where they could get tickets if they are in Columbus or somewhere else and they want to come and support what y'all doing far as with those young ladies?
Okay, so real quick, Millennium Rockets, we are 50 girls deep, 65 total family, and this is a growing organization where we cultivate champions for life through cheer and drill. Our competition will be at Whitehall Yearling High School on Yearling Road in Whitehall. Doors open at 9:30. Cost is $10 at the door. This is bound to be a very great day for Millennium Rockets. We've been at this since April and May. Our girls have worked, and so they will reap the rewards. I'm very proud. Just to share, I have a girl who is legally blind on my team. I also have a girl who is partially handicapped.
I know your whole goddamn team. Ooh, but I know you can't. Ain't nobody.
No, I have a young lady who attends the Ohio School for the Blind. She is on my 9.
I ain't never seen nobody come in there with a stick.
She doesn't have a stick, and I'll tell you something. But you'll notice that she looks. If she's looking at you, she looks to the side. So she may have her head turned completely to the right, but she's looking at you. She's blind. But I had to tell her mother she will be at competition. She will not be performing that competition because, I looked to take her. This was her first year of cheer. I looked to take her next year. Next year I will be requiring our league to allow her to go and see the place where we perform so she can get familiar with it prior to the day of. So I will have to make them allow those provisions next year, but she did cheer our entire season this year, and she has been at that field, at that school so many months and so long that now she maneuvers through there without a problem. It was that we would have to have someone hold her hand and take her to the bathroom and things like this, but this girl is now running and all kinds of things. I don't know that she has any pictures or videos posted within the Millennium page, but her mother takes plenty of videos and posts them because it is something that is very remarkable. It would behoove, no one would have a right to turn away someone. People can be in big trouble. I'm just happy that, I told my coaches they didn't believe that this little girl would be able to do half the things that she's able to do. And she was able to demonstrate throughout the season. But what I told them is if you can get that girl to cheer, it is a reflection of how good of a coach you are. If you really think you are half the coach that you think you are, you'll teach that girl some cheers and you'll have her performing on those sidelines at the game. And that is exactly what happened. So I am very pleased and honored to be a part of a team of women, parents, who just work together to get the job done for all of our girls, regardless of what their handicap or adversity that they're facing may be. We have pulled together, like I said, we've been at this since April and May.
When is the competition?
It is at Whitehall Yearling High School.
No, when?
Saturday.
Okay.
Doors open at 9:30.
For those that speak our language, that's
Kuumba.
Who? No, y'all get too violent. That's like going
the lie.
No, women been like that with competition since my mom was a coach. After my mom won one year and I saw the shit that went down, I'm like, I'd rather go to a professional fight. I swear to God, I feel safer. But I'm encouraging everybody else to go out and support. I will buy a ticket, goddamn it, but I ain't.
Ain't no need to buy a ticket. We ain't free-selling tickets this year, so if you ain't coming,
well, I send my $10 with some. I can take care of that. But you listen, y'all.
Well, I'll collect you. Matter of fact, cash at me your $10 because I can definitely use that donation.
Are you challenging me? I'll do that tomorrow. Are y'all gonna practice tomorrow?
I know you got cash app. Go ahead, because we you know how my families do. We will be at the hotel tomorrow. We'll be feeding our girls a big dinner salad. Cool. I wish you would have donated me some vegetables for our salad. But
I wish you stopped throwing that vegetable shit up in my face. Why you keep throwing the vegetable shit? That's part of our hustle. Help our hustle. Goddamn.
Okay. Well, I'm asking you to help sustain my community.
If I sell the weed, everybody would be willing to pay me with weed. Pay me for my goddamn
my community. This Queen, you see how this man is doing me in my village, right? All I'm asking for him is to donate me some vegetables so my girls can be healthy. And
they're going to walk right past that goddamn salad. I'm not sending no. My greens cost money. I'm about to send you $10 as soon as I get off the phone.
You see.
I'm listening. Yeah.
You see this.
I do.
Jackie used to live with me, so you ain't shit I'm saying surprising her. She can act that
my girls can have a nice hearty salad with vegetables grown by the same community that they support, but that they're a part of. That ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right.
What ain't
the
right
whole
is
nation
what ain't right is that y'all still ain't admit that y'all need to go and get some of these young girls on some of these young boys to tell them, look, I always wanted to marry a teacher. But I'm going to get to the controversy. You ain't telling me nothing. Tell me about this controversy so we get off
I do want to tell you this because I think she's probably listening upstairs, but you should hear my daughter with her comments now when she says,
See, when I married Cleve, or when me and Cleve get married, she really says this stuff now. So if you don't think that I'm serious, when I tell that, I just got in an argument the other day because a woman told me that I was wrong for saying that a little boy dating a little girl was cute. And I said, well, in a society where deviant behavior is impressed upon our young youth, and they are encouraged to go into a different, you know what I'm saying? I celebrate what will sustain us. And we're going to have some boys dating girls in order for us to continue being prosperous and to nation build. So I am 100% serious when I tell you that I scope out, I look, and I would be most just happy if my daughter married a young man like Cleaver, like one of those other little young warriors that we work with.
It's already been arranged. I already paid the bride's price, and I'm about to throw another $10 on that when I send it to you on the Cash App. It's already sealed. It's already sealed.
Okay, I wanted to just say, with regards to voting, we talked about voting on Tuesday, and the results came in. And one thing that I was puzzled about, and I know that people are going to feel differently, is about this whole issue one with regards to the money.
Did it pass?
I argue.
Did it pass?
It did not pass. It did not pass. And so what I got from my black friends on Facebook and other social media outlets was that people did not feel like they were going to vote for that and that money was going to come into the community. And I just want to say that was ridiculous. People were ill-informed. I do believe that. People were ill-informed. I believe that anytime that money would have been sent to released by the government, that money would have came into people could have applied, just like they applied to open their schools and different other things when the government releases money for certain ventures. Our people, like my girlfriend who's a nurse who already has a license in chemical dependency, she could have applied for some of that money so that she could start providing care and support for people that are addicted in our communities. To believe that our people are not addicted to heroin is a false.
Can I say something?
To not understand that this has been a drug that has ran rampant in our communities since the 80s.
Forever.
People don't understand that, and they. I'm sorry.
Since before the 80s, before like the 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now, but what I want to say is, Lady J, and we could get something like that passed, but the issue is that for black folks, one of the things that we have to do is to make sure that black folks are mentioned in it, and that will kill it right away. Because what was the guarantees? See, because like I have existed on grants, and people telling me that I need to go out and get grants, and right when the grant is passed, you know what I'm saying, it all of a sudden, what was promised for us is evaporated. So if you want to get black people involved, you got to have legislators and people who write the grants that can boldly mention black people in there, not just lump us in with people of color. Because a lot of black people look at this shit and say, look, I got my cousin Pookie is serving 20 years. Serving 20 years for some bullshit.
They're not political thinkers. We spoke on Tuesday and we spoke about the importance of reading. When you get to reading and you get to understanding that the way they're going to
most
save
of them don't read that.
These money in order to get them to the community,
we know most people don't read that. And they ain't have enough.
Decriminal.
And then they ask the question, they're going to decriminalize it, but how is that truly going to affect Pookie that's in jail? Will he be able to get out of jail, or is this just another lie that y'all telling us?
The reason why they're able to put us in jail are because of true sentencing laws and things of that sort. So when you start to break those down and you start to remove those, it will be impossible. It's impossible for there not to be a change. This was by design. They gave us something that would have helped us, and they tricked us into not passing it. That is because we were not thinking politically. We were not asking enough questions. We were not reading enough statements or enough literature on the
and it didn't mention black people
on the issue. We were not.
It didn't mention black people. It didn't. I mean, like I said, it didn't mention anything about black people.
Why does it have to say black people?
Because these motherfuckers done lied to us so much that we need a guarantee.
What they give me and make it work in my favor. I don't need them to say black people.
Lady J,
I need to know that. How am I going to take that and make it work for me and mine?
See, because the whole piece is
it doesn't have to say black people. I just need to know as a black person.
If you want something to pass with us, after all the abuse that we have experienced politically, you need to, in some form or fashion, allot some of that money and say that it's just directly going to our community in some form or fashion, in our discretion, whether it's a black politician or a black organization.
I don't think so. Well, I don't think so.
Well, obviously your thoughts are wrong because that shit didn't pass. Once again,
I don't think so.
I gotta drop the bomb.
That's because, again, my people are not political thinkers. They got bamboozled.
No, our people is so political. Right? Our people in
non-political.
Non-political. See, because they don't agree with you. I'm like, yo, the people have spoken. They spoke. And I have some very educated people, like one sister on there, a doctor, she was asking some critical questions about that shit. And I was reading that, I was like, God damn. She breaking it down. She asked some very, very good questions about this to one of the persons that wrote the shit. And they weren't coming back with good answers. I'm just saying. So people see shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And then people trust other people around them. This is why I say that it's imperative that we develop, whether we call them think tanks or where we're actually looking at these issues so that we can talk from a standpoint of agreement about these things. You know what I'm saying? And get people that are, that are political minded and look at this and say, this is how this is going to affect us. Lady J, you're counting on them to put money out there to help us
I'm not counting on them to put no money out there. What I'm counting on is that once that money comes available, I'm counting on my people doing what they have to do to attain the money, the same way they do when they open up these halfway houses, the same way they do when they open up all these other businesses and things that come as a result of what legislatures say is needed in the community. When I'm looking at the fact that right now they're giving away grants for farming, for agriculture, we should be going after that money. So anytime they make this money available, we get to write in the grants and we get the money. It was going to be no different with this. As soon as that money came on, my people were going to write grants. My girlfriend was already ready. She was ready. This was what she was waiting on.
Right. And I mean,
to be able to provide the level of care that
Lady J, have you ever done work that was dependent on a grant? Have you ever worked for a company that really did stuff like that?
Yes. To write grants and get money.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
no other
Definitely.
income, just supplemented with grants. Because a grant is never going to make us free. Some of these services,
a grant is never going to make us what?
They'll never grant you enough money to get you free.
I'm going to go say goodnight.
Thank you.
I need to go on blackteachersrock.com to see if I can flirt with a couple men before I go to sleep.
You don't usually do that shit. You be on blackhustler.com looking for bobo.
Oh my goodness. You ain't never seen me with no type of hustler, ever.
Long Jimmy John. Girl, I got you. I understand. But yo, family, I want to thank you for joining us on Giammi Journey. Make sure you like and share.
Good night, y'all.
Y'all have a great night. Remember, thank you for joining the Congregation of Mighty. This is Giammi Journey Media. I am your host, Brother Hatim. We was joined live by Sister Jackie and Sister and Lady J, as well as Brother Quasey for a couple of minutes. And we want to thank them with a heart. Of course, This is the Heart of a Simple Production, where we strive to blow up those old paradigms. And if I don't know if my chat is working. I might have not caught a lot of y'all trying to chime in, and I apologize for that. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get experience of being able to do this. So please understand it's a mistake of the mind and not of the heart. And if there are other comments, I will read them and possibly comment on them, because I don't like arguing on Facebook or with words, shit like that. I get rid of a video possibly. Peace out.